Good morning. Hand today's going to be Ace King. We are in early position. Well, not necessarily early position. We're one short, so we've got 8-handed table. We're in the low jack, and we'll see how that affects our ranges. 25 NL game. Early position player open raises. It's to me. I 3-bet with Ace King, and it folds back to him. All right, so this player's playing 17-5. He is looking like 12% VPIP. He does have a limp first in stat here. So his raise first in stat is going to be, this is technically the first time that he raised first in. We have some notes here. I have that he likes to limp raise kings plus ace king. So for his range, I'm going something like this. Kings plus ace king. Those are at 50%, so some of the time he's going to raise, some of the times he's just going to limp. We'll do 50-50. And then this gives us 12%. But, you know, as we saw, he likes to limp. So the question is, what hands is he limping with? I'm going to guess he limps with like some of these suited aces. And maybe some of these pocket pairs. I think he might be raising like some of these hands like this, suited broadways. I guess we'll add sevens back in there. Maybe it's like the 2s to 6s he'll limp call or something like that. So range something like that. Now, if we were going early position against, so EP3 versus EP, that's our 3-bet range. We're actually low jack, and that's our 3-bet range, which you can see is basically the same. So it doesn't really matter a whole lot. What matters, even the 3-bet call, there's really not a whole lot of difference in these two positions. You're still up against early position raiser. You're still going to be playing tight. And I'm not based on his hand, since he does like to limp, I think he's going to be at the stronger end of his range. So I'm going to keep it at, you know, this is my 3-bet range. And then he calls. So we'd have information about calls 3-bets out of position. So he calls 3-bets in position with 10s, ace queen suited, ace jack off, ace queen off. Out of position, he has 10s plus, 8s, ace king. So I'm going to say probably pocket pairs like 8s plus. He's calling with ace king, which he chooses not to raise. So I think we're going to just kind of scale that down again. So we had 50%. I think aces and kings are probably going to raise. And we already had 50%, so we'll do 25%. So about half of that he would have just called, and the other he would have raised. What about ace jack, ace queen, king queen? I'm gonna say he probably calls those, based on his in position stat. So like ace jack off, I think he's probably gonna call with those. Kind of thinking maybe queen jack as well, which gets us down to 4%. So it's going to be a somewhat tight range with pocket pairs. All right, so we see a flop of king jack, so that hits us. There, king jack. Checks to me. I think this is probably a bet here. He's got a lot of those under pairs that might call. We want to try to get some value from them. Of course, there's not going to be much draws at all, and that is why when we think about, you know, hands that we're going to be betting, you know, if we just go 3 of a kind plus, that's 36%. That means everything else is going to be used just as everything else is just going to be used as kind of bluffs. But I think we attack this board. This board's going to hit us. I guess the check could be like with queens. Ace queen. I mean, king's going to hit. it could hit him, but he's got all of these other pairs, and I'm just kind of thinking we're in position. I think we're going to be c-betting this most of the time here. So I bet a third pot, and he calls. So I'm going to say we're at basically 100% for me. And then when he calls, I think we're going to do probably all of his pocket pairs. I can't imagine ace high, like ace queen, is going to call here. So I'm going to do that. Not even sure if we do like a backdoor draw, flush draw, or like backdoor straight. I think we're going to do that. All right, 9 of hearts comes out. He checks to me. I go ahead and bet again. The 9's not the best. I mean, it's going to connect with those pocket pairs. But, you know, I bet half pot. Since he already called once, the idea is that maybe he's not going to believe me, or maybe he has like a king queen. So at this point, I don't think we're going to be betting everything. I think we're going to be restricting our value. You know, if we do 3 of a kind plus, that means then we've got like another 36% that we could bet. And I kind of think maybe these gut shots are going to be like the ace queen is going to be used, and then maybe that's it. And it's still the gut shot with the flush draw. We're short. Yeah, just like the ace queen. I mean, that's our gut shot. I'm not sure if we build in if it's possible, given this situation, that we're not going to be betting all of these. So if we said just 2/3 of the time we're betting, that might be a little bit better. And the quads are probably going to be a check. I'm going to say the quads are probably a check. We bet them once. Actually, probably, well, yeah, we're going to probably have to bet him. But we bet him once and then check and hope he had something, or he connects and can bet. So we bet, and then he raises, and alarm bells are going off. The question is what's he going to raise with? 3 of a kind. I'm not sure if he's going to raise with 3 of a kind. Full house seems like the most likely scenario. I can't imagine, again, flush draw playing. This guy just looks too tight and a little bit too passive, so I think it's full house. There is a possibility that you have ace king and king queen. I guess we could set up king queen and say, you know what, maybe like 50% of the time he's going to do it with king queen. Ace king sounds reasonable, but so does a full house. So maybe just like that. And that means then if we have, so I think these flush draws, backdoor, they're getting folded. I guess it comes down to, you know, the call. If we think he's doing this with ace king, king queen, then I think we call. We're going to change that. Yeah, so the green will do the red. But we're still calling it like 66%. I think we're going to probably have... You hate folding. I wonder what GTO says, but I think this is just a sign that maybe we're beat. I don't think we could fold, not with 3 of a kind with the ace. I think we call, and then if he checks us, we check behind. And just take the free showdown. I think that's probably what we're doing. Because again, I could see ace king playing like this. I might even see king queen playing like this. I could definitely see full house playing like this with nines and jacks. But I just kind of wonder, why would Jack do it? Why would Jacks make this play now? you've got a full house. So in any case, I did call. So I did call basically with ace king. 3 of clubs comes out. If he bets, I think we've committed possibly that we were going to call because we have a possibility that he is playing the ace king and the king queen hand like this. So I did call, and he shows ace king. So we did have it. So we split. We split the pot. Even though we didn't have all of the combos. So let's check this with GTO. All right, so I have got the ranges in there. I've got to go back and get stack sizes. I guess it's 17.5 is a pot. Yeah, it's close enough. 17.4 effective stacks, 88. All right, we are going to build the tree. We're going to set it up at 33. No, we'll do 50%. We'll do 50%. Okay, build new tree. And we're going to import the tree, and he checks. I think that's probably appropriate. Yeah, he hasn't donked, so that gives us, we're at, we're going to do 33% accept, and we're going to add 66%. I don't think we're going to go for the larger sizes, because I think after this, 66, 33, I think after this, then we end up going half pot. All right, so we're going to accept the changes. We're going to run the solver, and we will be back. All right, ran it, had him checked. It's like we are betting 100%. We're going small, so kind of thought that just based on ranges and the fact that we 3-bet, and we've got like the nut range versus him, 4 kings and so forth. And we don't, since we don't really have huge balance, we're just going to be c-betting on 100% here. So we see that what happens if we get raised? Ace king ends up coming back with a re-raise. Okay, kings is just a call, but here you're looking at aces, ace queen, queen. So aces and queens, aces and ace queen are looking at folds. That's kind of interesting. Queen, sometimes we're gonna have to call, probably just to keep them honest. Yes, when you look at the raises, you've got aces, ace, king, jack, no, ace, king, king, queen, jacks, and you're going to raise some of the time. So I think that's why we have some of the queens that are called, because he might be raising as a bluff. In any case, he called. So I just, queen 10 gets there, right? Queen 10 gets there, but I just have a hard time believing that he had queen 10. They not only open raise with it, but then called a 3-bet. I think that's just, your one combo. I mean, even if they're all suited, that's going to be 4 combos. He called again, strong board like this. Thinking, and you should probably think that ace is going to be out, so you don't even have full 8 outs for an open ender. You might already be behind it, pocket kings, pocket jacks, and so forth. So he checks, which again, small bets. That's some of the jacks. So he checks, and then it's to us, and we're checking now 76% of the time. That seems about right what we were at. I think on our turn. I don't think we were up. I think we had, we're betting ace king. I think that this was kings. I think it was going to be a check. Queens, we're probably going to be a check. Aces, we're struggling again for balance, and it looks like the balance that we're going to have is ace queen. So I think we work down like the ace kings and use the frequency of betting those. So like the suited ones we bet 2 combos, but then the offsuit we don't always bet those. Then we balance with ace queen, so we bet. I think that's okay. And then he doesn't have him raising at all. Ace king, small percentage. So if he raises, then GTO puts a set. Ace king. Yeah, because we'll have like the hands that we'll have left is ace queen aces. We're not calling those at all. Kings probably would have been checked. So we call, and that's basically he didn't raise enough. I don't think that's a whole lot. Overall, I think we played it accordingly. I think we were on the right track on betting, and then calling. I don't think we could have really done much more with this hand. Unfortunate that he had ace king as well, but I guess kind of fortunate that we didn't run into a bigger hand. Just think on a board like this, we bet. I'm kind of intrigued by the raises, by some of these raises with 9s and 10s. I guess you raise. Villain's only supposed to be calling. Like if he comes back over the top, we can easily fold. Like we fold the 9s and 10s, but we're calling with jacks and ace king. I mean, that's a pretty strong play to make this raise here, and I think that's going to be somewhat of the interesting one. I think so many times I get into this habit here where I call, I flop trips like this, king, king, jack, and then I check to him and just check call, and then the turn I check again to the turn. But check raising is a pretty good option, I think. A pretty good option that I think we need to take advantage of. So an interesting play. So all right, so that's it. That's our hand. Hopefully you enjoy it. Probably won't get any hands done this weekend, but you never know. So you can look this weekend. If not, check again on Monday, and we'll review another hand from some of my play in the last month or two.